All right, hello Wolfpack. Quick little Bitcoin update here today. Essentially what's happened in the last 24 hours since my last video is we've come up all the way up, and yesterday we weren't all the way up here, we were halfway up. We've come all the way up to the bottom of the bear flag formation. Now this bear flag formation here, stemming from early June, stemming all the way through to late August, broke to the downside, but now what we're doing is we're coming up and we're seeing a resistance support flip. Now, there's nothing bullish about a resistance support flip. Okay, that's something we need to say in the short term already, right? Resistance support flips, generally speaking, are pretty natural ways the price move. After you see a breakdown, right? Let's just draw up a fake structure here. After you see a breakdown, say you got a triangle, okay, and you consolidate within the triangle, you break down from it, you come back up, you flip it, then you head further down. If you saw the same thing for a break to the upside, it looks something like this: break up, come down, retest, and then go further up. Now, the reason why this is interesting, right? It's not because it's a resistance support flip. That's pretty normal. The reason why it's interesting is because we actually came down, we broke down, we formed an entirely new structure, right? Which was a bearish pennant formation. We broke that to the downside, and then we came back up, and now we're resistance support flipping, and it seems very late. Okay, so that's why I wouldn't necessarily classify this as a completely bearish resistance support flip. Now, obviously we're at resistance, and we can't say it's bullish because we're right at resistance and we're clearly rejecting from it, as you can see in the shorter term time frame. And not only that, we're forming an ascending wedge formation, which is a bearish structure, right? So we're at resistance on a bearish structure after a massive move to the upside. We're overextended. If you look at the RSI, where is it? The 1 hour RSI, very much overextended, seeing bearish divergence at a bearish ascending wedge formation. And so there's no reason to think that this short term, the short term on Bitcoin will be bullish, right? You can't be longing here. It's a stupid thing to do. I mean, I just showed you bearish divergence and an ascending wedge formation at resistance in a resistance support flip, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's odd that it's happening this late. And why is it happening this late? Well, we can explain that. And the reason why it's happening this late is because if we head over to the 1 hourly chart, these pink lines that I've drawn in here represent events that are taking place, the exact hour to the T of the events taking place in the future here, right? On the 13th of September, we have CPI releasing. Okay, CPI is expected to come in lower as per the market's expectations. And so that pretty much by itself explains why we've seen a pump at all, right? When inflation topped out, for example, in June, right? When we saw inflation top out, we came down to 8.5 in June. We saw a pump. We saw a pump on basically, on a few days later, and we saw that massive pump from 17.5K all the way up to 25K in the following months. And then we had a little bit of, a doubt coming in. We dropped down, but now again, the market seems to be predicting that, hey, inflation is going to come in lower. That's why we've seen this pump here. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that, we've seen this pump for a reason. It's not a random pump. It didn't happen for no reason. And even disregarding, what we have about inflation, we still had, and if we draw up here, we still had some sort of ascending triangle formation. I'm drawing up here, as you can see, some sort of ascending triangle formation. We broke that to the upside. So there were reasons for this pump, but the main reason seems to be, right? Because you don't see a move that big from a small ascending triangle. The main reason seems to be the events coming up and the tension coming around the events coming up. And so I would say to you guys now, this is what I'd say to you, right? We've seen intense volatility. We've seen a move of around, let me get the measurement up. Hold on 1 second. We've seen a move of around 17% in a 3 to 4 day time period. I would say to you now, be careful with your longs, okay? Yes, we've seen that move. Yes, it's relatively bullish. Right now we're at resistance. Right now we're heading into major events that could very well flip the table quite quickly on Bitcoin. Be careful with your longs. But TA does not support this move anymore. Yes, the fundamentals in terms of inflation, etc., they might push it higher, but the TA is not on your side anymore. And as traders, we need to trust the charts because we cannot accurately predict what will happen in the macroeconomic situation. We can predict the charts, and the charts right now are saying this is bearish, we're at resistance, and we're in an ascending wedge formation with bearish divergence. And if we check the volume, I guarantee it'd show you the same thing. I'm not on the Binance chart right now, so I'm not going to do it, but the volume is decreasing in the upwards trend as well. This is bearish in the short term, and I wouldn't expect anything less. To be honest with you, I wouldn't expect anything less than a breakdown from this ascending wedge formation and at least a retest of 20.7K going into CPI. From that point, we will have CPI and we'll do whatever the CPI tells us to do. If CPI comes in higher, we'll go down. CPI comes in lower, we'll possibly go up. And then the interesting thing about that is that shortly after CPI, in fact, only a mere 48 hours after CPI, we have the Ethereum merge. right? So that's going to be another thing. It's like, well, if CPI is bullish and the Ethereum merge is bearish, doesn't go well, then we could go down. There's so many different factors in the next 4 days that are going to just toss up the entire analysis for Bitcoin. All we can do really is say, okay, what's happening right now in the present moment, right? Because predicting what's going to happen with CPI, that's not completely impossible, okay? We already have the data from the market saying it's going to come in lower. That's not completely impossible. It's not accurate, but it's not completely impossible. But predicting what's going to happen with CPI and the Ethereum merge 2 days apart, I'd consider that impossible. And I think that's the mindset you need to get in now. You are heading into unknown territory as a trader, and you need to take a step back and you need to realize that, hey, maybe this isn't the best time for me to have an edge on the market. Maybe this is the best time for me to, hey, maybe I'll trade this little ascending wedge structure. When that finishes, I'll take a step back. I'll wait to see what happens. I'll have my invalidation points, right? If we break this downtrending line stemming from November 2021, that's a buy, okay? But other than that, I'd be chilling. I'd be chilling here, to be honest with you. We still have to stick by our long-term analysis. We still have to recognize that, we're on the edge here. And I would say we're in terms of a TA, we're bearish, right? And I said that about the short term, I said that, but even on the longer term scale, I still have to admit we're bearish, right? We're still in the 4-year cycle. The 4-year cycle is not predicting a bottom yet. We're still below this downtrending resistance line on the 3-day chart, still below resistance on the 3-day chart as well in the price. Ethereum's heading towards resistance. The S&P 500 has headed towards resistance. There's nothing in the charts right now that says we're anything but overexposed to a drop. I would say that a drop is likely as per the TA, and I think that these events in the next few days could toss that up. But as of right now, I think the best place to be is trading the short-term structure and then stepping away and waiting to see what happens. Because these moves, these events, they are going to toss up the market. They're going to toss it up big time. So you need to be vigilant. I say this at every event. Before every event, I can't stress it enough. And that's why I go on and on about it. I can't stress it enough. CPI is one of the most volatile times of the month. In fact, it's the most volatile time of the month. Right? There have been many occurrences where I've got messages from people in the Wolfpack who have lost a bunch of money on CPI. For example, they've seen inflation come in lower and they've bought, and then it dumps like for 10 minutes and then it goes back up and then it dumps again. It's irrational. It doesn't move logically in these time periods. You need to take a step away, wait a few hours, and then you make your decision. I can't stress that enough. So I think I'll get into this a bit more tomorrow because obviously these events are only 2 days away, so we're running out of time here. But as of right now, I think I just clarify that. I've gone over the long term a lot in previous videos. The long term's, in my opinion, quite simple. I think we know what we need to do for the long term. It's quite literally wait for that macro downtrending line to break and then buy, or wait for a double bottom at 17.5k or lower. Right? That's really what the long term is. It's not that complicated, but it's the medium term and the short term, specifically the medium term, that is getting people really confused right now. And as you know, the medium term materializes into longer term moves. But I say it one more time, right now we're just resistance support flipping. We're just in a bearish structure in the short term. We're heading into those major events. Trade the short term and then step away. That would be my advice to you guys. Thanks for watching. If you go to my YouTube channel homepage and click on the join button, you can see the rewards that VIP members gain access to. They get 4 trading setups per week, prioritized reply to comments by myself, trading psychology, a lecture, so a 2-hour lecture on trading psychology, and then exclusive Telegram group access where we can discuss the charts and discuss the active trades from the exclusive trading setup. So if you're interested in that, that's 40 AUD a month, which works out to be, as of September, around 28 USD a month, less than $1 a day. Go ahead and sign up to that. Moving forward further, we have the BitGet Exchange, and this is a very important one. The BitGet Exchange is something that I hold very closely as a trader. Why is that? Well, because I spent about a year looking for a good exchange. I got pretty much scammed on Binance last year during the bull market in 2021, and I found BitGet. They reached out to me, and then I reached out to them for the partnership. They got 0 trading fees on spot pairs, so it's free, entirely free for spot, and then on futures, they've got about 4 times less the fees than Binance, 4 times lower fees than Binance. And Binance is known to be the most popular exchange with the lowest fees. So this exchange is extremely cheap. On top of that, it's non-KYC, which holds true to the values of cryptocurrency, right? It's decentralized in your personal land. You don't need to link your identity to it if you don't want to. And it's globally available on that non-KYC format. So sign up to BitGet using my referral link in the description below. And in doing that, you'll gain access to over 4,000 USD in rewards by completing a few tasks. So again, use my referral link and sign up. It supports the channel and it supports your own trading endeavors. And then further, we've got the Crypto Academy, and this is if you want to learn how to trade, you want to learn how to do TA, you want to learn how to analyze a market, and that's where the Become a Trader 10-unit course comes in handy. Now, this course, and you can go to our website, you can read the abstract here, but this course was developed by myself and Megawell Crypto. We made this course during the start of 2022 and released it in around May 2022. We analyzed basically dozens of different courses, technical analysis courses that are available on the market. We analyzed what was wrong with them, we analyzed what was right with them, and we analyzed things we can put together. We've created this so that we've got slideshows, we've got videos, we've got worksheets, which is no other course has that, by the way, all of which is kind of aimed to kind of direct towards any kind of learning style, whether it be verbal, whether it be visual, whether it be practical, any kind of learner you are, you can profit from this course in terms of knowledge and then move it into the market and actually profit financially. So if you're interested in this course, you can go to our website, read out the 10 units, whatever, read everything you want, and then chuck us an email here at cryptoacademycourses@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you with all the relevant information. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.